Good morning everyone. The drama begins with the girl Myung, who was arranging her clothes and talking with her friend on the phone, and suddenly, Myung hears the voice of the owner of the house and then goes to see her, but she fights with her and asks her to pay the rent or she will evict her from the apartment. Myung is an orphan who has no money and tells the owner of the house that she will pay her rent soon. In the next scene, little girl Nojin played with her friends, who made fun of her because she is orphaned and fatherless, and after a while, her sister Myung appears and hears the girls mocking her little sister, then she gets angry and leaves. After that, Myung goes to work and talks with her colleague named Kosha. One day, Nojin comes back from school, but stands in front of a restaurant and watches the girl eat with her father, and it is clear that Nojin was upset because there is no father with her like the other girls. Moments later, the restaurant owner goes out to talk to Nojin and scolds her for standing in front of her restaurant. Nojin answers her by telling her that she is an orphan, and meanwhile, a person named Toshan appears and hears Nojin's words and is annoyed by the actions of the restaurant owner and tells the child that he will become his father. The restaurant owner is embarrassed and apologizes to Toshan. Toshan invites the child to eat whatever she wants, and once she finishes eating, Nojin goes home and finds her sister, who was worried about her because she was late. Nojin tells Myung that she would like to have a father with her and asks if she also has the same feeling. Myung replies saying that she also needs a father but is happy to have her little sister with her. One day, Myung was at work and suddenly, Toshan comes to his workplace and tells him that he would like her and his sister to be his children. Myung is very surprised because she doesn't know who Toshan is, who explains to him that he met his little sister at the restaurant and invited her to eat with him, but he noticed that she didn't eat, then asked him why she was standing outside the restaurant. Nojin told her that she wasn't standing outside the restaurant because she was hungry, but she was looking at a girl sitting with her father. Toshan asked her if she would like to have a father. Nojin responded by saying that his wish for life is to have a father who protects him and takes care of her. After explaining, Toshan tells Myung that he arranged the contract because he would like to be a father himself, but Myung refuses to become his daughter because people will say bad things about her because Toshan is only 5 years older than her. Toshan responds by saying that he knows his financial situation and that she needs a house to live in, and begins to explain why he wants to become his father, where he tells him that his grandmother died a month ago, but she wrote in his will that the inheritance should be received by the grandson who gave birth to one or more daughters, and the validity of the will expires only 2 months after the death of the grandmother, or the inheritance will pass to Toshan's uncle. So Toshan told the lawyer that he had to register a fictitious daughter with his name on paper to prevent his uncle to marry the inheritance. Toshan tries to convince Myung, who is determined to refuse her, and she tells him that it is impossible to approve her application. Several days pass. The owner of the house goes to Myung's house and tells her that she has the last chance to pay the rent. Myung doesn't know how to pay her, then decides to go see Toshan and tells her that she agrees to be her legal daughter. After that, Myung goes with her sister to Toshan's, who tells her that she will sleep upstairs with her sister and that he will sleep downstairs. Myung is surprised and says that she did not agree with Toshan in the contract to live with him in the same house. Toshan tells her that there is no problem living with her in the same house, because he became her legal father on paper and in front of everyone. A week later, Nojin went to school and she is happy because she has a father like the rest of her classmates, and at home we see Myung fighting with Toshan because she would like to do what she wants without her interference. Then both start writing things they don't like to do and agree on certain rules not to be exceeded. In the course of Myung's contacts and disagreements with Toshan, the two begin to attract each other and fall in love with each other. One day, Toshan's uncle comes home and finds Myung in front of him and asks Toshan why she's there. Toshan didn't want to ruin his plan, and so he had to lie that Myung is just the maid. Toshan's uncle leaves the house and orders his assistant to monitor Toshan's movements and inform him of everything that is happening with him. We go back to Toshan, who apologized to Myung for saying she was just a housekeeper. Myung responds by saying she is not angry with him and leaves, hiding the pain in her heart. One day, two women came to Myung's workplace to file a complaint against her younger sister Nojin for beating their sons, and one of the women tells Myung that she will report to the police and makes fun of her because she couldn't raise her sister well. Myung's colleague tries to defend her, and suddenly Toshan appears and interrupts their conversation and starts defending Myung and tells the two women that he got the CCTV footage and looked at their sons when they were beating Nojin, and he is ready to deal with the situation legally, but the two women apologize to him and say that the children are still arguing with each other and that is normal. Toshan refuses to apologize to the two women and asks them to apologize to Myung, who was happy that Toshan defended her. Myung goes home and finds Toshan in front of her, who was supposed to be at work but has changed her working hours, and asks her to walk with him outside. The two go out together and buy toys for Nojin, and then the two sit down together and Toshan talks to Myung about himself, where he says he's an orphan like her, but he was living with his grandmother, and we notice through the scene that Myung started to be drawn and admire Toshan, but she tries to hide her feelings. The next day, the school director calls Toshan and asks him if he is Nojin's father, then asks him to come to school to solve his daughter's problems. Toshan goes to school and solves all of Nojin's problems, then buys him toys, and back home, Myung asks his sister about the person who bought the toys, and during this time, Toshan's uncle's assistant was watching Myung and heard his little sister's answer about the person who bought the toys, and found out it was Toshan. One day, Toshan was talking to his assistant, who tells him that he sees that he has become happy lately. Toshan replies by telling him that he also notices that he is very happy and would like to stay happy all the time. The next day, Myung returns from work with his colleague Kosha and notices that he loves her very much, and meanwhile, Myung finds photos of her with Toshan scattered on the internet, and it was written on it, Toshan and his new girlfriend. Myung seems nervous and Kosha tells her that she should cancel the contract between her and Toshan and go live with her mother, and suddenly Toshan appears and tells Myung that he called her a lot and she doesn't call him back, but Myung remains silent. Kosha intervenes and asks Toshan to stay away from Myung because he only uses it for his own personal interests. Toshan responds by saying that he will cancel the contract and asks Myung to live at home with him because he loves him, and leaves. Kosha tells Myung that he has been in love with her for 7 years, but he has not found the opportunity to admit his feelings for her. Myung responds by saying that she loves him as her friend and that it is impossible to forget his help after the death of her father, and appreciates his feelings, but she loves someone else and wants to end the rest of her life with him. Then she goes to Toshan and asks him not to cancel the contract so that he can get the inheritance of his grandmother. After that, Toshan recovers the inheritance and finds his uncle on his way, who tells him that he is only an impostor because he came to court with a child who is not his daughter. Toshan replies by saying that the will does not specify the legitimacy of the child or that it is real, and also says that he will not be allowed to receive the inheritance. Toshan's uncle tells him that he was the one who raised him to get sympathy from him, but Toshan tells him that he doesn't remember a day when he treated him well and that only his grandmother cared about him. After that, Toshan goes to Nojin's classmates and invites them on a camping trip in the presence of the children's parents, and it seems that Nojin was happy to have a father and that her classmates don't make fun of her. Toshan goes home and tells Myung that he cancelled the old contract and offers him a new one, and when Myung opens the envelope, she finds inside a letter saying that he loves him and offers him to marry him. Myung was very happy and tells him that she loves him too and is ready to live with him his whole life until death.